The latest jobs report is out. America stops on a dime. The markets find themselves tied in knots. The very planet beneath Wall Street shakes and rolls. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Everybody just stick right here. Everything will be okay. Welcome back, editor for the Ultimate Wealth Report, author of the book, The 6 Keys to Financial Success, Sean Hyman. Sean, it's good to see you again. Here we have the Dow Jones Industrials dropping about 56 points today. I thought everything was supposed to be rosy as far as the jobs are concerned.
Well, it was a good jobs report, but it's a really mixed up world that we're living in right now, because in the old days, a good jobs report would mean stocks go higher. These days, with all the Fed stimulus, they go, oh gosh, the economy is improving, jobs are improving, wages are improving. Maybe the Fed won't stimulate the stock market like they did before, and so therefore the stock market goes down. So it's a crazy world we live in right now.
So we added, apparently, according to the government report, about 280,000 jobs in May. That's above the average monthly totals logged over the last year. Now, it seems good, but every time we look at these jobs report, you've got people saying, wait a minute, what about the people who are no longer looking for work and the people who are still sitting out there? Is 280,000 really something to be proud of?
Well, I mean, it's better than where we've come from a few years ago, but it still lacks a lot to be, a lot of improvement really needs to still happen. And the GDP, really needs to pick up quite a bit. I mean, we've been in the 2% range or so, and we really need to be in the high 3s to 4% to really grow our way into a really robust economy where you have even fuller employment, and some of these that are unemployed currently are incentivized to come back in. And of course, right now there's many employers that won't work somebody 40 hours a week because of Obamacare laws enacted, and so that's one issue as well.
Couple of international notes we want to make here. Norway, big move toward dropping investments in coal companies by a $900 billion wealth fund because of their impact on climate change. Now, wait a minute. Here's a government now basically saying we're not going coal because of climate change. Will this have any ripples here on this side of the ocean, and what about internationally?
I don't think so. I think most of the bad coal news is already kind of baked into the cake. Usually when you see news like this, it's usually the sign of a bottom in coal and a turnaround to the upside in coal. And, they keep talking like on the news like we're going off of coal here in America, but we're still powering our electric power plants. 39% is used and powered by coal. So we're far from, when you're right at 40%, you're far from being off of coal. And I don't expect that to continue, because we are essentially burning cleaner coal. And natural gas will slowly pick up through the years, but we're not coming off of coal here in the U.S. anytime soon.
We've still got a way to go before we get there. And here's another thing when we talk about energy. OPEC is going to maintain their current output. All the 12 nations kept their target about 30 million barrels a day. Now, is that to be expected, what we're hearing from OPEC? Because I remember in the last 6 months we've heard they might cut back, they might stay where they're at. Where does this land?
Well, they announce levels that they're going to stay at, and then they also don't always hold to those levels. So you never really know. But the market reaction in the oil market really wasn't too bad. I mean, oil dipped a little bit, and then it came back. And so oil really, I believe, has already factored this in. I think from here, oil, I believe, bottomed probably in March or so. And it's heading back up because, I mean, the economy is picking back up. But, today's jobs number is just another sign of that. Wage growth is increasing. And so things are getting better in the economy, both here in the U.S. and they're picking up overall globally. And so that's going to be good and supportive for oil prices overall. So I think we head to probably $70 a barrel by year end.
Here comes the summer, and a good reason to go ahead and make sure that the oil is at least cheap and we can get our gas cheap. Remind everybody, head for Newsmax.com, go to the Finance tab. That's where 24/7, 365, everybody here on the Newsmax team will keep you posted on what's happening around the world in finance. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, more evidence the United Nations is covering up allegations of sexual abuse by their troops. We've talked about it before. Let's see what the update is next.